You know, right now, millions of people are walking around with a very heavy burden on their shoulders. They don't call it a burden, they call it a mortgage. A 30-year mortgage. 30 years! That's not a loan, that's a life sentence. Think about it. You sign a paper when you're 30 years old, full of dreams, full of energy. And suddenly, you're 60 before you truly own the four walls you've been living in. By the time the house is yours, your children have left, your knees are complaining, and you're wondering, was this freedom, or was this a trap I built for myself? But what if I told you there's a way, a very simple way, to turn that 30-year sentence into just 10 or 11 years? Not by earning millions, not by winning the lottery, just by understanding one fundamental truth about how money works, and more importantly, how you work. Let me tell you something. Money is not just currency. Money is energy. And, like all energy, it has momentum. When you pay your mortgage the traditional way, just the minimum monthly payment, you're giving the bank maximum control over your energy. You're paying interest on top of interest, month after month, year after year. By the end of 30 years, you've paid almost twice the price of your home. The bank didn't just lend you money, they made you a partner in funding their prosperity. Now, I'm not saying banks are bad, they're doing their job. Here's what you need to understand. Every extra dollar you pay toward your loan's principal reduces your interest and helps you finish the loan sooner. The earlier you make extra payments, the more you save. Let's say you have a mortgage of $330,000 at 6.5% interest for 30 years. Your regular monthly payment is around $2,086. Now, if you just keep paying that amount, you'll be paying for 30 years, and you'll end up paying over $400,000 in interest alone. That's more than your house cost in the first place. But what if you do two simple things? First, each year you make one extra payment toward your principal equal to your original monthly payment, just once a year. And second, every year, you increase your monthly payment by 10%. Not because you have to, but because as you grow in your career, your income grows. Let your payments grow with your income, not your lifestyle. Now listen carefully. With just these two strategies, that 30-year mortgage becomes 11 years. 11 years. You save almost $250,000 in interest, and you free yourself 19 years earlier. Think about what that means. Imagine being debt-free at 40 instead of 60. Imagine the choices you'll have, the freedom, the peace of mind, your children's education, your parents' care, your own dreams. All of this becomes possible when you're not chained to a monthly payment. You see, most people increase their lifestyle whenever their income increases. New car, bigger vacation, fancier dinners. I'm not saying don't enjoy life. Please, enjoy. But don't let lifestyle inflation eat up every bit of growth you achieve. If your salary increases by 10%, let your mortgage payment also increase by 10%. You won't even feel it, because you're already used to living on your current income. And that one extra payment per year? It's not a sacrifice, it's a choice. Maybe it's your tax refund. Maybe it's your bonus. Maybe you skip one vacation and put that money toward freedom instead. Not forever, just for a few years. The difference it makes is not small, it's massive. That's the real goal, isn't it? Not just to own a house, but to own your life. Not just to make money, but to make choices. Freedom is not about having no responsibilities. Freedom is about not being controlled by them. So here's what you do. Calculate what happens if you make one extra payment per year. Calculate what happens if you increase your monthly payment by even 5 or 10% annually. You'll see the difference immediately. The math doesn't lie. If you want to run these numbers for your own mortgage, check the description. I've added a customizable, fill-in-the-blank ChatGPT prompt that will calculate your exact loan amortization schedule using these strategies. It takes 2 minutes, and you'll see exactly how many years and how much money you can save. Remember this. The quality of your life is not determined by what happens to you, but by what you do with what happens to you. Your mortgage happened. Now what are you going to do with it? Are you going to let it control you for 3 decades? Or are you going to take control and set yourself free?